So for this week's video, I thought I would do a little bit of block printing. And this hasn't come about because I planned to do that. It came about more because I don't have any internet at the moment. A big storm blew in last night, and even though I had a bit of internet this morning, it's just all gone now. So everything that I was going to do, I was going to order some new stock, I was going to make some new cards, I was going to do some of my online Skillshare stuff. That's kind of all gone out the window. So I've had a look, and I do need to reprint. I need to print the rest of a series of one of my block printing pictures. My words have all gone today. So I need to finish printing a series of my block printing pictures, and I thought I'd bring you along with me and show you kind of how I do it. Also, another reason that I can't really do much big stuff today is because my studio is full of seedlings, which is all quite exciting in its own right, but it means I can't get my big tripod out and I can't get my light boxes out and stuff. So anyway, we'll see. We'll work it out together. Come with me as I do a little bit of block printing on my internet-free day. Okay, so first things first, because of the space that I've bought in my room, when I'm printing you won't be able to see my face, but I'll try and talk you through what I'm doing, but I'm going to focus on the actual work. Secondly, if you can hear a whirring sound, the glamour of being a freelance artist is that you've got your housework jobs to do as well, so I'm putting some washing on at the same time. But I haven't got all day, I've got other jobs to do, so I'm not going to wait until that load's finished before I film this. So I've got my old picture frame ready, which is what I use to put the ink on, which I'm going to roll with this. It's like a rolling, not a rolling pin. It's like a paint roller that you'd use on the walls, but very small version, and you're going to roll the ink with that, and then you're going to put it on your stamp. Now I'm going to need my stamp. I'm going to have to go and find where my stamp is. And then, you can see here that I've made a template for my stamp. It's in the middle of the A4 sheet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the A4 sheet down, stick it down, I'm going to put my stamp, my carved stamp in the middle, and then when it's inked, so I will ink So once I've got the ink on my roller, I'll ink up my piece, and then I will use this A4 sheet here as a template for my A4 sheet that I'm going to print on, and I'll lay it down, line it up with the corners, and I'll push it down. I'll rub around. I'll probably get one of my coasters to put on top and push down onto. You can buy, I think they're called burnishers, which are quite expensive, and they've got a handle on them, but they basically do the same job as a coaster. They don't have a handle on, obviously, a coaster, you wouldn't be able to put your cup on it, but if you put it down and you push, you'll see when I'm doing it in a minute. It does the same job, so save yourself some money and just get yourself a coaster. Right, so I'm going to go and try and find my stamp, and then I'm going to finish printing the 5 remaining ones in this series. So I'm just lining up my carved print into the pencil outline that I've made when I first printed it. This is called a register. So basically what it is a guide. So when you've got your stamp where you want in relation to your finished dimensions, which is what I've got here, the paper, You draw around it, and then any further prints that you need to do, you can just line up your stamp with your outline, and then your picture will be in the same place on every print. Okay, so these need to be in black. Give my brayer just a little bit of a rub. Try not to get any ink on your paper, because you're going to have a messy print. And obviously I have got ink on there in the past, but I'm going to do my best not to, because I've learned from that mistake. Make sure there's enough ink on there. You know what, it might be a little bit too warm to do this today, because I think this is starting to dry already. February, oh no, sorry, March. March, and it's starting to dry already. I was a bit more outraged when I thought it was February. Okay. So let's try this. Get any ink off your hands if you can. Make sure that you haven't rolled it off your line, which I had. And get some paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line up the edges of the top edges of my paper, the top edges of my template, and then let it drop down. You're going to want to push evenly, which is why it's worth getting a coaster or something flat. So when you push down, all of your weight is on it. I also use a wooden spoon just to get the edges of my ink. Where is my wooden spoon? Preparation is the key. There we go, my wooden spoon. And it's good just to give a rub around without having to get your hands on there, because with all the best will in the world, you're probably going to have ink on your hands. You want to make sure you're pushing hard as well, because otherwise the ink won't stick. And you want a nice even transfer of the ink. It sometimes takes a little bit of a few attempts to get the right kind of transfer, so be prepared to have a couple of test prints. Right, keep pushing. When you think you're done, do it a little bit more. That's my tip that I've learned. Try not to move your hands when you're pushing, otherwise you'll risk smudging your picture underneath. But sometimes with the best will in the world, it does smudge anyway. It's magic when it works though. I have a little peek. See how it's going. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to risk that. Give it a go. That is fab. I think that's one of the best prints I've done of that actually. I've just spotted there's a bit of ink that's got into that thin line of the O. I don't think it's too big a deal on that one, but I'm just going to make sure I wipe that out before I do a new print. Brilliant, so that's one down.